Please help me welcome Tim Flanegin. He's a small business owner and he'd like to talk about solutions.
Thank you. Can you hear me okay? Yeah. I hope to speak this evening on behalf of the common citizen, the taxpayer, who is the forgotten American amidst this entitlement mindset that is sweeping across the nation. We are in a grave crisis with this looming threat of socialism, along with the consequential bankruptcy of our very country. So what are we going to do about it?
Right! Roll them out! Roll them out! Impeach them all!
Well, that's a solution. And my personal philosophy doesn't allow me to complain without offering a solution of my own. So I have authored a proposed amendment to the U.S. Constitution that I call the Private Property and Fiscal Responsibility Amendment. The abbreviated version reads like this: the right of the people to own private property and to enjoy the fruits of their labor without the burden of undue taxation is affirmed. Therefore, to secure this right, Congress shall neither tax nor spend in an amount greater than 1/5 of the nation's gross domestic product.
That's right. I like it.
So what are we saying here? Just this, in plain language, we are putting the federal government on an allowance.
That's right. That's right.
And we are cutting up its credit cards. We are asserting, Congress, you can take no more than 1/5 of our income by force. This power-hungry elite in Washington holds the arrogant belief that we citizens are here to work for the government. And that the people's earnings are there for the taking by Congress. Government is the offspring of the people. We created it.
Yes!
We can destroy it.
That's right, it's supposed to work for us. We are the parents. And when that congressional offspring of ours throws a tantrum over this amendment, as surely they will, then we will issue them a timeout.
Old school on that.
So what effect will this amendment have? Just this, it will stop socialism dead in its tracks. It starves the tax and spend beast that is Washington and crowds out new cradle-to-the-grave entitlements. So if you believe in this amendment, try this at the next town hall meeting or candidate debate. Ask the politician aspiring for federal office if, philosophically, they believe that there is a maximum percentage of the people's income that government should be allowed to take by force. And if they don't answer you, be suspicious. This should have been the question in the last election. And we should continue to ask this same question every future election until we get the Fiscal Responsibility Amendment passed. But trust me, the Washington politicians don't want to get anywhere near this question. Because if they had to answer it truthfully within their heart, folks, that answer would not only shock you, it would scare you. Because they don't want to take just 1/5 of our income by force, or even 1/4, which is what this government has surged to in a quick few months here, but try 30% or 40% or 50%, because that's what defines socialism. We have got to apply the brakes to this runaway train that is bearing the heavy freight of socialism, accelerating under the weight of its trillions of dollars of debt. And this Fiscal Responsibility Amendment is the brake lever that will allow us to do just that.
All right.
Now, here's one final very positive point about this amendment. I imagine that many of you out there, like me, have suffered significant losses in your 401ks and your IRAs.
Yeah.
Just watch. When we pass this amendment, because it puts the U.S. government's financial house back in order, you will see that stock market immediately emerge from its squalor and commence a long-term rebound to the upside. And you and I will get our lost savings back. Along with renewed confidence in this economy and even in that government. Now that's a real stimulus package that doesn't cost the nation or the taxpayers anything. Okay, so that's it. The Private Property and Fiscal Responsibility Amendment. A big picture solution to the grievances that we citizens have with this government. Now, I've been informed by the political establishment that no, we can't get this amendment passed, that it'll never happen. Maybe secretly, we prefer this drug-like culture of entitlement made possible only through this diabolical and clever funding scheme that makes it appear as if we're getting something for nothing. Then again, maybe we can enact this amendment. I'm under no illusion about the difficulties involved in this. It's going to be tough, but we can try. And we need to get the conversation started. Who knows? Just maybe. This idea, this groundbreaking idea that the citizens could place restraints on their own government just might sweep across this nation and be taken up by the common people. And because of that, even adopted by political parties who are seeking a galvanizing principle around which to reform themselves. This has happened once before in our history, over 200 years ago, by a motivated citizenry just like you, who mobilized among 13 colonies and achieved victory over tyranny, and founded what we know today as the United States of America. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you, Tim Flanegin.